There's just something about cupcakes that brings out the kid in all of us. But when it comes to kids and cupcakes, let's get serious. It's all about the frosting. But you have to have something to put the frosting on, and that's where I'm going to start. My delicious, moist chocolate cupcakes. I've got 1 cup of all-purpose flour that I'm sifting with 3/4 cup of sugar and 1/2 cup of Dutch processed cocoa powder. I've got 2 teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And I'll give this a quick sift into a large mixing bowl. Really, these cupcakes are as easy to make as a batch of muffins. I've got 1/2 cup of sour cream here and 3 whole eggs. I also have 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And even though I love butter in the frosting, I find using oil in the cupcake itself makes it really moist and tender. And it also holds its shape so you can peel away that cupcake paper easily. Teaspoon of vanilla and a whisk. I'll pour that in all at once. And I'll whisk this slowly at first. And then you want to give it a good stir. You can use electric beaters or a mixer if you want, but this is easy enough to make by hand. You can tell when you've got your batter blended because it goes from being matte looking to nice and glossy. This recipe makes an even 12 cupcakes. The good news is it batches up easily, so if you're hosting a cupcake party and you need lots more, well, you can double, triple, quadruple, and you're all set. You want to fill them about 2/3 full. There we go. How easy was that? Now, I've preheated my oven to 350, and these take about 25 minutes. And to check the doneness, you check them just like you do a cake. Insert a skewer in the center of the cupcake. If it comes out clean of crumbs, you know you're set. And here are the cupcakes out of the oven and cooled. And that's that lift in the center I was talking about. Perfect, perfect cupcakes. Now, this frosting is a classic cupcake buttercream. Sometimes it's called an American buttercream. And I'm starting out with 1 cup of unsalted butter that's softened to room temperature. I'll give that a little whip first. I've measured out 4 cups of icing sugar. So first I'll add 1/2 of that amount, beat it in, starting on low speed. I'm using the stand mixer. Of course, you can make this frosting using electric beaters, but you can't do it by hand. You really need the motor to make this frosting nice and fluffy. All right, at this point, you can see it's starting to get a bit fluffy, but it's still rather firm. And I'll be honest, if you tried eating it right now, you would get that grit of the icing sugar. So to dissolve that a little bit, I add 2 tablespoons of milk and I add a little vanilla. And because I make my buttercreams using unsalted butter, that way I'm in charge of the salt, I do like to balance the sweetness with just a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Okay. I'll add the coloring by hand. I think I'll go for a peach. Let's see what happens. If you want to make your buttercream ahead of time, what you can do is chill it, but you have to bring it back to room temperature and re-whip it before you use it. So frankly, I prefer making it right before I plan on frosting my cupcakes. I've got a large star tip and let's just pipe away. It is all about that sort of ice cream cone effect of the frosting. A few sprinkles on top. And I'll leave your frosting cake ratio up to you. You know, if kids are decorating the cupcakes, it's gonna be more frosting than cupcake. You can't have a bad mood if you have a cupcake. I find making cupcakes as much fun as I do eating them. And when you see the smiles on everyone's faces, not just the someone special who's having a birthday, you'll feel good at taking the time to bake for such a special occasion. Enjoy the birthday party.